Apparently nowadays people call the day I died Good Friday. Not sure where the word good comes into place there. I mean, I know the guy who came up with this didn't experience the crucifixion firsthand, but I was never under the impression it looked like a ton of fun. You think that's weird? They recently wrote a song about the night you were born, and it's called Silent Night. What's wrong with that? Was I making a lot of noise? Oh no, but a certain someone else was, because, you know, they were giving birth! Oh, and they were a virgin at the time. Yeah. Silent isn't the word me, Joseph, the innkeeper, the shepherds, the kings, or anyone within a 10-mile radius would have used to describe it. Okay, Satan, we need to talk. I cannot handle the temperature down here. It's driving me crazy. Well, this is hell, my friend. It's supposed to be like that. Oh, come on, bro. There's no way it's supposed to be this cold. Say what? I'm freezing my ass off, man, and I'm wearing 3 layers right now. This is inhumane. Are you from Florida? Yeah, how'd you know? Man, when did everybody get so sensitive and easily offended? I tell you, people were not like this back in the day. Be kind and peaceful to one another. The fuck did that guy just say? Welcome to heaven. Now, if you're looking for a particular group, the Jewish folks typically hang out down there, the Buddhists have a spot over on the east side, the Protestants are just a couple blocks away. Hold on, why does that area have a big wall around it? Oh yeah, that's the Catholics. They like to think they're the only ones here. Okay, so Mary had Jesus. Yeah. And Jesus is known as the Lamb of the Lord. Yeah. So then, Mary had a little lamb? Get out. Hey buddy, now that you're, well, dead, we need to decide whether you're going to be going to heaven or hell. Now, typically this is a pretty long process. We need to weigh all your good deeds against all your bad deeds. Let's start with the basics. How long were you alive? About 28 years. Alright, and what did you do for a living? Well, I sold NFTs. Hell. Hell! Now remember, son, before you make decisions in life, you should always ask yourself, what would Jesus do? You mean the guy who got crucified? Well, yeah. You really want me to live the same kind of life he did? Son, don't disrespect Jesus. Hey, I'm not trying to disrespect him. I just think Jesus and I have very different end goals. See, I prefer the term, what would Bill Gates do? Hey. What did God say when one of the angels wanted to visit Lucifer? Go to hell. Aren't you Christian? Yeah. So why don't you go to church on Sundays? I don't wanna. Why don't you say grace before dinner? I don't wanna. Why don't you confess your sins? I don't wanna. Have you even read the Bible? I don't wanna. Dude, what the hell kind of Christian are you? Most Christians. Hey, can you guys clear something up for me? You know how we measure years with BC and AD, you know, around Jesus? BC is before Christ, before he was born, and AD is after death, after Jesus died. But here's the thing. Jesus was alive for 33 years. Where do those years fall? Are those included in BC or AD? That wouldn't be accurate because before Christ isn't during Christ and after death wouldn't be while he was alive. Is there some DC during Christ era that I don't know about? Like, where do we put those years? Do we record them at all? Also, does anybody know how in the world we got every single culture in the world to agree to use that kind of measurement of years? Like, a lot of those cultures don't even believe in Jesus. How did that convo go? Yeah, we know you don't believe this guy ever existed, but we're gonna need you to record all of your history around his birth and death. How in the world did that work? My friends, please eat this bread. You're the Messiah. For this bread is my body. Dude, what the heck? I don't want to eat your body. Oh no. I wasn't being literal. It was a metaphor. Oh, was it? Well, you know what? How about next time you tell us that? Well, clearly the bread can't actually be my body. I thought it was obvious. JC, I have literally watched you cure blindness and walk on water. Okay, trust me, nothing is obvious anymore. Okay, fair point. I seem to have made things a bit tense, so please drink this wine. Now you're talking. For this wine is my blood. So remember, everyone, love thy neighbor, Judge not lest you be judged, and treat others how you wish to be treated. What about women, though? Like, we should still treat them as lesser beings, right? Okay, not sure how you interpreted it that way. Remember how I said treat others how you wish to be treated? Yeah, that would include women. But what about the people with different beliefs than us? Should we kill them? Were you not listening to me? I just said love thy neighbor. That doesn't include murder. Ooh, but what if somebody is living a lifestyle that isn't the exact same kind of lifestyle I live? Surely we should judge them. What is wrong with you people? Seriously, I have been walking all over this country in my bare feet, preaching nothing but peace and love. Why is that so hard for you guys to understand? Why do you keep misconstruing it? But what about black people? Oh my dad! Hey, why did Cain kill his brother? Because he wasn't able to control himself. So, you want to be Jewish? Yes, I do. Very well. The first thing we must do is cut your penis. I'm sorry, what? You want to be Jewish, don't you? Well, yeah, but I didn't know it was going to involve sticking a knife in my mini-me. Sounds a little extreme, don't you think? I understand, but listen. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices in order to prove our dedication to what we believe in. So I need you to ask yourself, is this important to you? You know what? Let's do it. I have faith in this religion and I want to go all in. Wonderful! We also don't eat bacon. I'm out. If Sunday is God's rest day, why is it also the day we go to church and pray to him? Aren't we bothering him on his day off? If Jesus didn't want people to sin, why did he turn water into wine? People tend to be more sinful after drinking wine. If I become a priest, does my father have to call me father? So, why are you calling me a witch? Thou wast wearing a dress that partially revealed her legs, as only a witch would do. Really? That's what you're basing this on? Questioning the logic of a superior? This woman is a witch! You know, Adam and Eve walked around naked. Were they witches? Slandering biblical characters! This woman is a witch! Wow. It really doesn't matter what I say, does it? You've already decided I'm guilty. The witch can read minds! Dude, you're an asshole. Yeah, okay. You know, it doesn't matter what you think, because only God can judge me. You're an asshole. Fun fact. Do you know why Friday the 13th is considered a day of misfortune? Well, there's actually multiple historic reasons, one of them being in Norse mythology, with Loki. See, when Loki orchestrated the death of Balder, he did so at a dinner party where he was the 13th member to arrive, thus being one of the main reasons 13 is considered an unlucky number. But doesn't stop there. There's also Christianity. See, at Jesus' Last Supper, there were 13 people present, and the day after that was his crucifixion on Good Friday. Friday and 13. But it doesn't stop there. In history, something that is considered to be a great tragedy is when the Knights Templar were arrested and tried as heretics. And on what day were they arrested, you ask? Well, the year was 1307, the month was October, and the date was Friday the 13th. How about that? Cowinkety-doo. I wonder if Voorhees knows any of this. Somebody should tell him. Not me. I ain't going near him. The Lord God, who's been nothing but kind and loving and giving and generous to me, told me not to eat this fruit. But then a random snake said that I should. Tough decision. This is literally the toughest decision any human being has ever had to make. I am hungry, and, you know, I know I'm surrounded by delicious food that is not off limits here in the Garden of Eden, but this one's already in my hand. What am I gonna do, put it down and pick up another one? No! That would literally be the most intense chore any human being has ever had to go through. Darling, I made a difficult decision today to save our son. I placed him in a basket and set him loose in a river so someone else would find him. It's the only way to protect him from the Pharaoh. Well, at least we know he'll be safe. Well, so long as the basket doesn't run into any rocks. Oh yeah, or currents. Or boats. Or hippos. Or crocodiles! Okay, this was a bad idea. So here's something I don't really get about the story of Moses. So you know how God and Moses together unleashed a whole bunch of freaky plagues on Egypt in order to kind of try to force the Pharaoh to release all of his Hebrew slaves? Why did they even need the Pharaoh's permission? What does it matter what he thinks? I mean, you've got God on your side. Why didn't God just snap his fingers and teleport all the Hebrews out of Egypt? Why bother with the plagues? Did he just want to show off? I think he wanted to show off. Fun fact! Easter can be a very confusing time. Many people, myself included, have questioned why we celebrate the rebirth of Jesus with colored eggs and bunnies. Well, let me explain it here for you today. Eggs have actually been a symbol of life and rebirth for thousands of years, dating all the way back to ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. So when Jesus was reborn, they naturally became associated with him as well. As for colored eggs, the Orthodox Church eventually started dyeing eggs red as a way to symbolize the blood of Christ. Isn't that pleasant? So that explains the eggs. What about the bunnies? Well, we actually get the name Easter from a Saxon goddess named Eoster, who is the goddess of fertility and spring, which is when Easter takes place. And her symbol is a rabbit. There you go. Also, rabbits are typically associated with life as well, because they pop out a lot of babies. I'm so sorry, my son, but the Pharaoh has ordered that all the Hebrew babies be killed. The only way that I can ensure your safety is to put you in this basket and send you out into the river. Go, my son. Hopefully you will find a better life for yourself, now that I know you are safe. Oh, crap! He got eaten by crocodiles! So if you're a god, how do you interact with your followers? Well, I just teach them how to live more fulfilling lives. And then you demand sacrifice? What? No! Ah, so you're the kind of guy who prefers to make them slave away building giant monuments to you. No. But you do encourage them to fight to the death in your name, right? I do not do that. Do you at least command them to rip the still-beating hearts out of the bodies of their own people as an offering to you? Oh, no! Well, surely you sleep with all of their women. No! What is wrong with you? Well, then what do you ask of them? Look, all I ask them to do is be kind to one another, be honest, and try to avoid judging people. That's all you ask of them? Yes. And they all do this? No, not really. Fun fact. You want to hear what may be the greatest way a man ever defended himself during a witch trial? Okay, well, in 1692, in Jurgensburg, an 80-year-old man named Thies was brought before judges to be tried for witchcraft. The man confessed that he had done something, but it had been mistaken for witchcraft when he was in fact actually a werewolf. And not just any werewolf, a member of a group known as the Hounds of God. The duty of the Hounds of God was to protect the people and the crops from witches, and they would even sometimes travel into hell to do battle with the devil and his sorcerers. The judges were taken aback, to say the least. They kept trying to get the guy to confess that he had a pact with the devil, but he kept insisting that he and his group were actually the devil's worst enemies. And from what I can tell, it seemed like it worked. He stopped his execution. Fun fact. You know how lots of holidays have mascots like Santa or the Easter Bunny? Well, did you know that Halloween has a mascot named Stingy Jack? Stingy Jack is an Irish legend about a town drunk who enjoyed deceiving and manipulating people until one day when the devil came for his soul, Jack begged the devil to turn into a coin so he could buy one last drink before leaving. The devil agreed and turned into a coin, but then Jack put the devil in his pocket next to a crucifix, which rendered him powerless. Jack said he'd only free the devil if he agreed to leave him alone for 10 years, which the devil agreed to. 10 years later, the devil returned and Jack begged him to let him enjoy an apple before they left, so the devil climbed into a tree to get him an apple, but then Jack surrounded the tree with crucifixes and said he'd only free the devil if he agreed never to take his soul to hell, which the devil agreed to. Eventually, Jack drank himself to death. His soul tried to get into heaven, but he wasn't allowed in because of his lifestyle, so then it tried to get into hell, but the devil reminded him that he said he'd never take him in there, so then he begged for a way to light his way back to the human world, so the devil gave him an ember from hell, which was way too hot to hold, so Jack put it into a pumpkin to light his way, which is where we get jack-o'-lanterns from. And so Jack had doomed himself to wander the earth forever as a lifeless corpse. This story has inspired several characters, including Jack Skellington. So, how do you decide who goes to which part of hell? Oh, it's a long process. We look over your life, your deeds, your personality. Basically, the more bad of a person you were, the deeper into hell you go. Oh, okay. What about the people who make scam emails? Straight to the bottom. No questions asked. I just hope this Moses guy showing up in Egypt doesn't make things too weird for us. Why does heaven have gates? Are people sneaking in? If God doesn't want you getting in there, I don't think you're getting in there.